people, it's me, Anja. My pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new video. I feel like I don't really need to explain to you what this video is about, because the title explains it all. So yeah, let's just get started. The first book on this list is called Hazel Blake in the Deep Blue Sea. This book is a middle-aged contemporary following a young Sapphic girl as she navigates grief, trauma, and friendship. This book is absolutely so amazing. It's absolutely so good. It is so lovely and it's so wonderful. Hazel Blake is such a talented author and I love her so much. Her writing is so beautiful and it's so wonderful. The way that she crafts these characters is so well done. Hazel is such a wonderful, well-developed, distinct character that I was so emotionally attached to, and we love to see it. The romance was so cute and it was so well-developed. This book is absolutely so good, but my favorite part about this book, aside from everything, because this book is absolutely so amazing, is that the romance wasn't really the main piece of Hazel's story. Like, it was more of a side piece, you know what I mean? Because the main piece of Hazel's story is her navigating her grief and her trauma, which I think is very important, and it was dealt with so well. This story is absolutely so good, and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So with that, I would highly recommend it, because this book is one of my favorites from this year. So clearly I loved every single element of it. So yeah, with that, like I said, I highly recommend this book. The next book on this list is called P.S. I Miss You. This book is a middle-aged contemporary following a young girl who's questioning her sexuality, and she writes letters to her older sister who was sent away from the strict Catholic home after becoming pregnant. This book is absolutely so good. It's so lovely and it's so wonderful and it's so underrated. This book deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so good. First of all, I love reading about religious queer people because I feel like the majority of the Sapphic books that I've read are secular, which I think is very important, but I think that it's equally as important to read about religious queer people as well. You know what I mean? This book is absolutely so good. It is so lovely and it's so wonderful. The plot was so intriguing. The characters were so well developed. The romance was so fluffy and it was so lovely and it was so well done. This book is absolutely so good, and like I said, it deserves so much more hype. I love reading about main characters who are questioning their sexuality because I know how timely and how important that is, and frankly, I personally prefer reading about characters who are questioning their sexuality rather than characters whose sexuality is already established by the beginning of the book. I don't know if that made any sense, but essentially this book is so good and it's so underrated. So with that, I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Deepest Breath. This book is so good. It's a middle-aged contemporary following a young girl who likes reading and sea creatures, which is the biggest mood ever. Obviously, I love reading, but sea creatures are so pretty. Fish are so cute. But anyway, the main character also likes girls, which I can't relate to at all. But anyway, this book is literally so good, and it's so cute, and it's so lovely and wholesome and so wonderful. This book is absolutely so amazing, and it's so good. It's so wholesome, and it's so fluffy, and it's so good. The plot was so intriguing. This book is absolutely so good. Even though this book is quite short, it still packs an emotional punch because I was so emotionally invested in everything that was happening. The main character is such a wonderful, well-developed, distinct character, and I was so emotionally attached to her. The plot was so intriguing, the romance was so fluffy, and it was so well developed, and it was so well done. This book deserves so much more hype because it's absolutely so good. It is so lovely and it's so wonderful and it's so fluffy and it's so wholesome, and with that I would highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called How to Become a Planet. This book is absolutely so fantastic. It follows a young Sapphic girl who's dealing with her depression and her anxiety, and it's so well done. First of all, the mental health representation was so timely, and it's so important, and it was so well developed. It was so well done. Second of all, the main character is such a wonderful, well developed, distinct main character that you can't help but be so emotionally attached to. Third of all, the plot was so intriguing, and it was so well done. Fourth of all, or whatever number we're on now because I lost track, the romance was so well developed, and it was so fluffy, and it was so cute, and it was so well done. This book is so good. It's so awesome, and it's so well done. This book definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so good. It is so awesome, and it's so honest, and it's so raw, and it's just so good. It's so awesome. So with that, I would highly recommend this book because it's absolutely so great. The last book on this list, but certainly not the least, is called Almost Flying. This book is a middle-aged contemporary following a young Sapphic girl as she goes on a week-long amusement park road trip, and she's also on an emotional roller coaster as she realizes that she likes her friend as more than just a friend. This book is absolutely so fantastic, and it's so good. First of all, the story just felt so wholesome, and it's so lovely, and it's so fluffy. And again, I was so emotionally attached to the main character because I love her so much. The plot was so intriguing, and it was so well done. The romance was so well developed, and it was so fluffy, and it was so lovely, and it was so wonderful. This book is absolutely so good, and it's just so fluffy, and it's so wholesome. This book definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so good. It is so lovely, and it's so wonderful, and the main character is so good. I can really see how she can resonate with so many young Sapphic people out there. You know what I mean? Because I was so emotionally invested in her. You know what I mean? And she just seems like such a strong, realistic main character. And she's just so wonderful. I want to be friends with her. Anyway, this book is literally so good, and it's so lovely, and it's so wonderful. So with that, I would highly recommend it. So, in conclusion, if you want more Sapphic book recommendations, first of all, I have a video coming on Tuesday talking about part 6 of my favorite Sapphic books with Sapphic main characters, and many of the books that I talked about in this video will be talked about again in that video. Second of all, I have a playlist in the description box below dedicated to all of the videos that I have made about cool book recommendations, as well as the cool book tag that I created almost a year ago that you should definitely participate in. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the seal emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.